Supporters and opponents rallied their troops in the controversial debate over same-sex marriage today. Both sides packing a hearing room, hoping to have their sides heard before lawmakers get set to vote, possibly as early as next week. ABC 2 News' Don Harrison has the very latest tonight from Annapolis.
The opportunity to be here to talk about.
Dozens of opponents and supporters of the same-sex marriage bill crammed into the Senate Judicial Proceeding Room to discuss the legislation. Same-sex marriage is legal in 5 states and the District of Columbia. Maryland is not one of them. The group Equality Maryland that supports same-sex marriage hopes this is the year the legislation gets passed.
When I have people who turn to me and tell me that my family's not complete,
Maya Deane-Polyak is 14 years old. Maya's mother and partner have been together for 29 years. They live in Baltimore City but can't get married in Maryland. Not only do the current laws affect the parents, the children are impacted as well.
I don't understand why they're not allowed to have the same protections if they're just the same as any other parents who love their children unconditionally.
Legislators have heard this bill for several years now, and some feel it's time to have marriage between the same sexes be recognized in Maryland.
Living in a country where gay and lesbians can serve openly in the military, they're willing to die for my freedoms. I think the least that we can do is vote for theirs.
I happen to be for traditional marriage.
Senator Nancy Jacobs is against same-sex unions, but can see her side may not be successful this year.
I'm afraid that it is going to happen unless the people of Maryland rise up and make their voices known. And they need to do that rather quickly, because the votes, I believe, are here in committee to pass the bill.
Even if the bill does pass out of the committee, it could end up here in the Senate, where it could get stuck in a filibuster or even get pushed to a referendum for the voters to decide. In Annapolis, I'm Don Harrison for ABC 2 News.
And the bill may be heard as soon as next week in the Senate. Now, if lawmakers approve, Maryland would become the 6th state in which members of the same sex could marry, joining Connecticut, Iowa, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire and Vermont. The District of Columbia also has legalized same-sex marriage.